Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are fine and safe. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bardasnar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakkonam. Children, today we are going to see 12th standard botany first lesson. What is the name of the first chapter, children? Asexual and sexual reproduction in the plants, right? And in this chapter we are discussing about the artificial methods of reproduction. What are the artificial methods? One is a grafting and another one is a layering, right? And what are all the types of grafting we discussed, children? Bud grafting, approach grafting, crown grafting, tongue grafting and wedge grafting. And today in this session we are going to discuss about the another method of artificial reproduction, that is layering. So layering, what do you mean by layering, right? For example, the stem of the plant is allowed to produce the roots, and later when the roots are formed, that portion is cut off from the parent plant and it is grown as a new plant. Now we can see, and what are all the main examples is Ixora and Jasminium. Ixora we say Itlipu, right? And Jasminium, jasmine. Jasmine, if we keep a stem, mostly they used to do by layering. Layering is nothing, children, and there are two types of layering. One is a mound layering and another one is a air layering. And first we are going to study what is mound layering. Mound layering is done in the plants with the flexible branches, right? And the branches of the plant is very flexible. Just look at this picture, children. Here the branch of the plant is like this, and we are bending a branch, and so that the tip of the plant will be facing upwards, and here, and it is covered with the layers of the soil. Now this stem part, what will happen? The roots will start to form, and after the roots are formed, this part is detached from the parent plant and it continues to grow into a new plant. So this is the mound layering. So what is mound layering? The mound layering is applied for the plants having the flexible branches. So one of the branches is bent down and it is into the soil, and later it is allowed to form the roots. And when the roots are completely formed after few weeks, this part is detached from the parent plant, so it continues to grow into a new plant. So in weak plants, that is with flexible plants, we use mound layering. And next we are going to study about the air layering. What do I mean by air layering, children? Here the plants mostly the mango, citrus plants, we do the air layering method. There the stems are very bulky, right? So it is not possible to do the mound layering. So here we follow the air layering method. Just look at this picture, children. Air layering method. Here what will happen if it is a citrus plant? Here in the stem, the portion of the bark is scratched with a knife, and so it is covered with the soil and it is enclosed with the polythene cover. Later what happens? Like this. In that area, what is forming? Many roots are formed. Later, this part is cut off from the parent plant and grown into a new plant. So, like this we can do in many branches of a single plant, and we can produce many new plants. So, this we call it as a air layering. So, what is air layering, children? The stem is griddled. What do I mean by griddled? Yes, if this is a stem, and here if new branches is arising, here the portion of it is removed with the help of the knife, right? And we are covering it with the layers of the soil and binding it with the with the polythene cover. And before that we are administering some hormones to it. What are all the plant's hormones, children? Ethylene, abscisic acid, gibberellic acid, so many things are there. So we are injecting some hormones, and we are allowing the plants to produce the roots, and when the roots are completely formed, it is detached from the parent plant and grows into a new plant. So what are the two types of layering? Mound layering and air layering. So with this The conventional part is over, children, and now we are going to discuss what are the advantages and what are all the disadvantages of the conventional methods. What is a conventional method? The method which we follow for a long time, right? We call it as a conventional method. So first we are going to study the advantages. The advantages is, the first advantages is that the plants are genetically uniform. Suppose if you are grafting a plant, if you are using grafting or layering a plant, the new plant formed is genetically identical to the parent. There is no variation, and many plants can be produced quickly. Just imagine, in a air layering, in a single plant, you can allow the stem to produce more roots by air layering method, and at the same time you can produce many plants from that part, right? And later in some plants, right, for example, if you take some plants, it cannot produce the seeds. Seeds are not viable. What do you mean by viable? Viable means fertile. Viable means fertile. Some plants do not produce the seeds, and in some case of the plants, the seeds are not capable of reproduction. In such plants, this air layering and grafting method is very efficient, right? So some plants do not produce the seeds. In such cases, plants can be produced in a short period, no need of depending on the seeds. And the next one is that more economically, it increases the economical value. For example, if you take a Solanum tuberosum, what is Solanum tuberosum? Potato, right? And some very economically imported plants which gives us money, we can produce in a large quantities. And the last advantage is that desirable characters. For example, if your mango tree in your home produces very sweet mangoes, with the help of this layering method, you can produce many plants with the same sweetness in the fruits, right? So the plants with the desirable characters can be grafted. So these are all the advantages of the conventional method. So what is the first advantage, children? They are genetically uniform, we can produce quickly, and more number of plants can be produced in a short time, and no need to depend on the seeds, and it increases the economical value, and the last one, the desired characters can be brought to the next generation. And now we are going to discuss about the disadvantages. So disadvantages of the conventional method, right? And the disadvantage is that, first one, if you are using a plant for layering, what happens if that is infected by the virus, automatically the new plants produced from it also affected by the disease. So we should be very careful in handling the plant, children, because if you use a virus infected plants, the generation also will be virus infected, right? And next one is that in the layering method, we are using the very bulky parts. For example, in the case of tongue grafting, what we are using? We are using a huge bark of the tree. So it is very difficult to handle. Only these two are the disadvantages of the conventional methods. So apart from the disadvantages, more advantages is there, that is in the conventional method. And now we are going to discuss about the modern methods. Modern methods in the sense, yes, tissue culture, right? Conventional method we discussed about the grafting, layering, and now we are going to study about the modern methods. And the person named Professor F.C. Stewart in the year 1932, this is a carrot, children, he isolated the parenchyma cells. What cells? He isolated the parenchyma cells from the carrot, and by inducing it, by using it by the tissue culture method, he produced a new adult plant, right? So the capacity of a cell to produce a entire organism, and this concept we call it as totipotency. What is totipotency, children? If an single cell is capable of producing the entire plant, it is said to be totipotent. Mostly plant cells are totipotent, but we animal cells are pluripotent. What do you mean by pluripotent? For example, if they are storing the stem cells, right, we can make only few organs from it. We cannot make a entire individual. But in case of plants, a single cell is capable of producing the entire plant. So this case is called totipotency. So it's an important question, children. Okay, and what did Professor Steve Ward derive from the carrot plant? It is an important need question also. What he derived, what he took? Parenchyma cells, right? And next we are going to discuss about the, okay children, now we are going to see what is tissue culture. Okay. So in the laboratory condition, okay, we are growing some plants in a certain laboratory condition in a particular medium, we call it as a tissue culture. And now we are going to study the definition for micropropagation, the regeneration of the whole plant from the single cell or a tissue or a small piece through the tissue culture is called as a micropropagation. For example, you are taking a single cell, right, and you are growing it in a medium, laboratory medium, in the tissues, right, in a tissue culture vessels, and later it develops into a entire organism. Just look at this picture, children. In the stage 1 you are taking a small part of it, and later it forms a callus, and later it develops into a entire plant. So the technique of growing plants from the single cell in the laboratory condition is called as a tissue culture, and by using tissue culture we are producing the next generation. That process we call it as micropropagation. Children, now we are going to discuss about the advantages of the modern method, that is the tissue culture and micropropagation, right? And the first advantage is that any plant with the desired characters, it may produce a more number of fruits or very sweet fruits, so that desired characters can be brought to the next generation, and in a speed it can be done very fastly, in a rapidly. And the next advantage is that the young ones produced, the new plants produced are genetically identical to the parent plant. And here this tissue culture, for example children, for other things we have to depend on the season. When by the natural reproduction it depends on the season, but by the tissue culture method there is no need of depending on the season, because at any season it can be carried out under the laboratory conditions. So this is the third advantage. And the fourth advantage is that some plants do not produce the viable seeds. What do you mean by viable? Viable means fertile seeds. So such plants can also be produced by this modern method. The next advantage is that some rare and endangered. What do you mean by very rare? Romba aridana and endangered. Endangered means which is going to destroy, azhiyakodiya. Such plants we can produce in more quantities by the tissue culture method. And the next advantage is that the disease free plants can be produced by the meristem culture, right? We can produce the disease free plants. Since we are using only the single cell, we can produce the disease free plants. And next one is that cells can be genetically modified and transformed. Suppose if any character has to be changed, we can change, that is GMO, genetically modified organisms. We can modify the cell and we can transform them into the desired cell, right? So these are all the advantages of the modern method. So what are the advantages, children? First, the plants with the desired characters can be multiplied rapidly. Second one, they are genetically identical. They can be carried out in any seasons, and the plants which do not produce seeds also can be propagated. Endangered and rare species can be grown by this method. Disease free plants can be produced, and the last advantage is that here the cells can be modified according to our wish and it can be transformed into a desired cell. So these are all the advantages of the modern method. Children, now we are going to discuss about the disadvantages of the modern methods. So what are all the disadvantages? The first one is that since we do it in a laboratory medium, right, it needs many intensive equipments, as well as we need a more skilled persons, right? They should be very aware of the technologies. So what is the first disadvantage, children? we need is labor intensive and required skilled workers. Technicians we require, and it cannot be carried out by the normal man. And next one here, sterile conditions must be maintained. What do you mean by sterile, children? Certain temperature, disease free conditions should be maintained in the lab, otherwise the tissue culture method will not be effective. So the second disadvantage is that sterile conditions should be maintained always. And here for example, if the entire crop, for example if you are doing by tissue culture, the entire, if there is any changes in that, the entire crop may be susceptible to new diseases, or any changes in the environmental condition may affect the growth of the plant. And the next disadvantage is that if any callus, what is a callus, children? The callus is the undifferentiated cells. Callus is an undifferentiated cell, right? The callus undergo some development and produce the plantlets. Sometimes these callus undergo some genetical changes so that it cannot produce the desired quality of the product. So these are all the disadvantages of the modern method. What is the first one, children? It needs intensive labor and skilled workers. And second disadvantage is that here the sterile condition must be maintained always, and here the plant may get new diseases due to the environmental changes, and the callus may undergo genetical changes so that the product will not be useful as we expect, right? So these are all the disadvantages of the modern method. So children, we have discussed about the conventional method, their advantages and disadvantages, modern method, their advantage and their disadvantage. So with this session comes to an end, children. Along with this, in the description we have given the study material, assessment and the question bank for this lesson. Go through it and make sure how far you understood the topics clearly. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.
நளினி அமிர்தாவோட ஃபாதர் யூகேஜிலேருந்து 8th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் படிக்கிறாங்க. இப்போ அது 5:30 to 6:30 வந்து கிரவுண்ட் ரன்னிங் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு, பாடி எக்ஸசைஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு, அப்படியே ஸ்கூல் அட்டன் பண்ணிவிட்டு, மத்தியானம் மேலே மதர் தெரேசா அகாடமிலையும் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க, மெட்ராஸில் எம்இஎம்லும் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. நேஷனல் லெவலில் வந்து கோல்டு அடிச்சிருக்காங்க.